As you can see, Michael Clarke is here with me, our defence and security analyst, to break down some of the latest assessments of this. Michael, just stepping back from it all, the action we saw 48 hours ago, what stands out to you as you've analysed it more, and the ability to take out the Ayatollah with no boots on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, we were speculating at the time when these attacks began on Saturday morning that the timing seems curious. And Sean Bell, you know, our other analyst, was he and I were talking about this and saying that it was so late in the day, given that Tehran is 3.5 hours ahead of London, and we heard about it at 6 in the morning, so 9:30, 10 o'clock in Tehran. And we said that was not the ideal time to launch attacks of this sort. So they must have had eyes on a target and have gone for the target early. And that now seems to be, in the last 12 hours, seems to have been confirmed in the US, that Israeli intelligence got an idea that the Ayatollah and a lot of his staff were back in the compound, which is extraordinarily foolish of them, although the compound, it goes very deep. And they went back into the compound, I assume on the assumption that as the Americans hadn't attacked overnight, they were safe for at least another 24 hours. And the Israelis got wind of the target, said to the Americans, it seems, we want to go early. And the Americans said, OK, go. So the whole attack went in, it looks, maybe 24 hours earlier than they had planned, maybe even 48 hours earlier than they planned. But it shows the value of Israeli intelligence is very, very good. And they had 3 sites, it seems, that they had good information where people were, and they went for them. And as we saw from the pictures, they completely devastated the compound in which the Ayatollah was there, and they killed a lot of people in there. What
do you make of the breadth of the Iranian response, perhaps not the successful depth of it?
Breadth is clear. I mean, the Iranians have no choice in one sense. From a military point of view, they've got, I mean, some said they had about 2,000 missiles. I've seen some reports they have maybe up to 4,000 ballistic missiles. That might be a bit over the top, but they've certainly got some thousands of ballistic missiles. The military logic for them is to use them or lose them, because they know Israeli intelligence is very good and American intelligence is very good at watching what's going on. If they hold those missiles back for another 2 or 3 weeks, they might well lose them. So the tendency is to say, OK, we have been attacked in a total sense. The American president has said he's trying to destroy the government of Iran. That is war. If you try to destroy a foreign government, that's war. If you're trying to destroy a people, that's genocide. But if you're trying to destroy a government, that's war. So they've declared war on us. We must use what we've got while we've still got it. And the Iranians have done what they said they would do, which is to attack bases. And they're going for anything they can find, which is American, Israeli or allied countries. And indeed, I mean, some of this stuff will affect civilians, because if you attack bases, some of your drones and missiles will be brought down and they're going to fall somewhere. So there's going to be some collateral damage and deaths through debris.
Talk to me about what resilience Iran has under the surface. How damaged will they be by so many of the key leadership members going versus having people to step into the fold?
Very good point. Politically, they've got a lot of resilience. So the leadership might have been rocked by this, undoubtedly, but Larijani, who is designated as the interim successor, Larijani has said, OK, we've got a council of 3 who are making decisions. And it will take a while for the Iranians to make clear decisions again. The fact that they attacked Duqm in Oman, they said, we didn't intend to do that because the Omanis are a friend. They've been negotiating, and Duqm is a port, very important container port, and they attacked it. And they said, well, that was kind of on autopilot. We didn't mean to do that. So there is a degree of chaos, you would imagine, at the top, but the top is still there. The Republican Guard are about 200 and 220,000 people, all armed and fairly dedicated. Below that, there's the Basij, who are the militia that go down to the lowest possible levels in Iranian society. These are the people who will come out on the streets and shoot anyone that they think looks like a demonstrator. There's like 600,000 of them. And then there's an army of about 800,000, something like that. Now, one of the key questions is, what will the army do? We know what the Republican Guard will do, and the Basij would want to do. They want to preserve their power and the influence. What does the army do? Will they sit on their hands? Will they go in with loyalty to the regime now that it's being attacked? Or would they, if demonstrators come out onto the streets, would the army try to defend the demonstrators? If that were the case, then we're looking at some sort of civil war. But in political terms, there is real depth in the Islamic Republic's control of society. So there is some depth there. Less economic depth. And the Americans are going for they've hit Clarke Island, for instance, they've hit Abadan, the transit points, but they're not hitting the energy production of Iran at the moment. That would be a really big step. If they went for Iran's energy production, then the Iranians, I think, would then try and hit lots of energy sources elsewhere in the region.
1 minute left, Michael. What about who Iran have targeted in response, and how does that change regional opinion of Iran?
It's changing it a bit. They've gone for all Gulf states, so they've hit, I think, seven sovereign countries now, one by mistake. I mean, they're a paper tiger in the sense that nothing they do does a whole lot of damage, but it's a political expression. And any paper tiger can get lucky. So they're hoping to get lucky against the Americans or the Israelis. They are creating a sort of a front against them, but that's not the same as a front that fully agrees with what the United States and Israel are doing. So I think the Gulf states, I mean, and the Saudis are taking a big role now, saying to all their Gulf neighbours, even the UAE that haven't got along with for a long time, you know, we're looking after you. So the Saudis are trying to emerge here as they are a Gulf superpower, but a Gulf protector of the others. I think we'll see a different sort of Gulf arising out of this. But they don't want Iran to collapse. They don't want the chaos that will go with it. I mean, there's 5 million Pakistanis around the Gulf. And Pakistan, people have been killed in Karachi, in demonstrations in Karachi over what is happening in the Gulf.
Michael,
Big regional implications.
Thanks so much. Good to see you, Michael.